Stephen A. is trying to walk a very tight, narrow line and trying to really, because he's made a mistake in kicking dirt on Max Kellerman, going on these different podcasts and taking all these unnecessary shots at Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman is in Stephen A.'s rearview mirror. Max Kellerman got dusted from First Take. And I'm going to explain respectfully, because again, I know Max Kellerman and used to be friendly with Max Kellerman years ago when I lived out in L.A.
So he's saying that I found a common friend that was done, I guess, dirty by Stephen A. And so this is his way to be able to talk about Stephen A. But Jason, man, I'm not seeing your point. Like you're making yourself look kind of silly out here on these streets, bro. I don't know, man. You don't look very strong.
Sensational.
If I saw Max with, more than happy to have a beer with him. I've been to Max Kellerman's house, met his wife, kids, the whole nine. I don't harbor any ill will or bad feelings towards Max Kellerman, but I do want to explain. I think Stephen A. actually had excellent, justified reasons for wanting to get Max Kellerman off of First Take. And I'll explain that here in a second. But before I do that, I'm going to let you hear Stephen A. Smith on his own podcast, The Stephen A. Smith Show, give his partial explanation or response to Marcellus Wiley, repeating some of what he said on The Breakfast Club, but then Stephen A. pivoted it to talking about me. And that's where I come in. And this whole explanation I'm going to unpack will make sense. But let's hear Stephen A. Smith, I believe yesterday or the day before, talking about Marcellus Wiley and then yours truly, fat bastard, as he calls me. Anyway, go ahead, play the clip.
I got mad love for all of my colleagues. Marcellus Wiley was one of those people. I'm sorry he's gone from ESPN. I'm sorry he's gone from FS1. I hope whatever it is that he's doing, and I'm assuming it's something more than just his podcast because the brother's bright as hell, I wish him nothing but the best. If I saw him, the only thing that I would say to him is, bro, really? That's what we doing now? A black man is scared of the intelligence of a white dude? Really? In the year 2023, we gonna say something like that? Because I can assure you, I ain't scared of nobody. Not when it.
I just don't understand why what's the race issue for? Why are we talking about race when we talk about analysts on sports? So I think that was a bad take on Marcus Wiley's part for bringing that up. I do agree with Stephen A. on that one, actually.
It comes to intellect. You know why I'm not scared? Because either I'm just as smart, if not smarter, or I learn from their intelligence and it makes me more intelligent. So I'm always winning. I'm always winning. Now, there's a lot of people out there that want me to address other names. There's one particular person who will remain nameless, and I will not deny it. I think he's a fat, no good bastard who I despise to the core. But it doesn't mean that I wish him harm. It just means I know what he is. That is not Marcellus Wiley I'm talking about. It ain't hard to figure out who the hell I'm talking about.
Who that?
But even then, I wish him no harm. Even though he has made a career out of maligning and ridiculing and trying to wish others the worst.
Jason Whitlock.
I'm where I'm at. That particular individual is where he's at. And I'll leave it at that. And no, I'm not talking about Marcellus Wiley again. No, I'm not talking about my former colleague on First Take. No, I'm not talking about them. They ain't fat bastards. Who are seeds of the devil. Wishing nothing but black folks home. But I'll leave that for another day, for when the time is right.
How do you take 20,000 children in the middle of New York City without anybody seeing?
All right, so that's Stephen A. And this is where the problem Stephen A. Smith has and the problem many people involved in corporate media, many people that are addicted to social media, this is the problem they have. They can't be honest. They can't say what they really, really believe. And so they go the passive-aggressive route, they go a very dishonest route, and they're upset with me. And this has been an issue for me throughout my entire career, because throughout my entire career, no matter where I'm at, Kansas City Star, ESPN, Fox Sports,
Okay.
America Online, AOL Sports when that was around, when I did sports talk radio. I've always been, and it's not because I'm a better person than anybody else. It's a quirk in my personality. It comes from the way that I was raised and my upbringing. I'm a weird person in terms of I've never cared what the world thinks about me. And a lot of that has to do with seeds that were planted at me, again, at 25th Street Baptist Church, where I grew up, and my grandmother, my beloved Kennedy. But I didn't even recognize it then that that's what it was about me. It wasn't until much later in life that
I'm stopping this.
Sensational.
I'm stopping the video. What is he talking about? Bro, this man sounds like a straight bona fide hater. Like I have no dog in the fight between him and Stephen A. And when I just listen to it, he doesn't make any sense. He makes absolutely no sense. Stephen A is telling him, hey, these are my accolades. This is what I've done. He's trying to make him seem like he's not credible. And then he's talking about all this emotional stuff. Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand. Jason Whitlock, bro, you got to get it together, man. I don't think you really want to fight this fight with Stephen A. I think that you should refrain from talking about Stephen A. Right? You don't look good in this light. Just stick to sports. I don't know why Marcus Wiley even brought up the whole Max Kellerman representing the white side on First Take, and then Stephen A. kind of being the person to talk about the black history and the black plight. If that was their program, then let that be their program, because maybe there was an aim for that. Maybe there was a reason for that. But I don't understand why we're talking about this. I just think this is just silly stuff, man. And I don't know. That's all I got to say about this one. This is like a petty little beef, but I think Jason Whitlock should refrain from saying anything about Stephen A. Smith. He just sounds stupid. So, yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what the whole issue here is, but you can't start saying people didn't write their own books. People didn't. He's saying that Stephen A. didn't even play basketball when there's clear data that shows that he played basketball in college. And Stephen A. even said, I didn't play that many games. And then Jason Whitlock is trying to say that he never even played in college. So I don't know, man. I think you look really silly, bro. That's all I gotta say about that. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, man. Just a little quick show.